Forum, we're over on the left. There is the Forum Square, which is really Rome's very first piazza. And it's where people would have gone to get the news of the empire. There weren't any journals and such. Everything was spread word of mouth. They would have had an orator speaking the news of the day in the Forum Square. And before the Colosseum had been built, they would have been having gladiatorial battles in the Forum Square, as well as public executions. And this road was the main triumphal parade route. If they were ever celebrating a victory, they would have been marching down this road into the center of the Forum. And they would have been marching through triumphal arches, like the white archway over on the right. That is the Arch of Titus, and it commemorates the sack of Judea, modern-day Jerusalem. What happened was in 70 AD, the Jewish people were having a revolt. So the general Titus, son of Vespasian, was sent down to conquer them. He destroyed their temple and returned to Rome with tens of thousands of slaves and the spoils of war. And these are the slaves that they made build the Colosseum. As soon as the Colosseum was complete, the slaves that they still had left over from Judea, they made them construct this archway, which is commemorating their very own defeat. And when you get up close to the arch, you'll see that there are friezes on the inside of it that depict the triumphal procession. You'll see them carrying with them the Jewish menorah that they had taken from the temple in Judea. And from there, if you scan your gaze to the left, the next major thing you come across is the huge brick building with the three archways. And that building was started by the Emperor Maxentius at the beginning of the 4th century. But Maxentius was defeated by Constantine, and Constantine completed the project, calling it the Basilica of Constantine. It was a civic secular type of building, and they believed that people would have gone there to vote. And you can tell that only half of the building is still standing, because the other half fell during the same earthquake that fell this half of the Colosseum. And you can tell from here how they're along the same fault line. Also directly across from us, there's the round temple with the green bronze door. That is a temple to Romulus, but not Romulus, the founder of Rome. The Emperor Maxentius had a son that he named Romulus, who died at a young age, so he decided to erect this temple to him, deifying him and making him a god. And as I said before, Maxentius was defeated by Constantine, and Constantine paved the way for Christianity to become the official religion of the Roman Empire. Once this happened, the Christians went around destroying pagan monuments, since they had been persecuted by them for so long. So it's quite amazing that a pagan temple such as this is still standing in such great shape today. But if you look at the very top of it, it's a little hard to see, but there is a cross. It was turned into a church, and this is the only reason that a pagan temple is still standing in such great shape today.
Can you go in it?
You can go in the church from the other side, not entering from the Roman Forum.
Do they ever open the doors?
They do open the doors sometimes. Actually, glad you asked. Those are the original bronze doors from the 4th century BC. They still have the key to those bronze. I'm serious. I have a picture of it in my phone. I can show you. No, because one day I was going through at closing time and the custodians were closing up the door. They have a key ring with all the other keys on it, and then this one giant key that dates from the 4th century. I'll show you the key.
Good question.
Yeah. Yeah, you can pass this around. It's, yeah. Here, if you want to pass it around, that's the key to that door, and it's original from the 4th century BC.
That's insane.
No, and they found the key just right next to outside the door, you know, like
just hanging under a rock.
No, yeah, it was like under a rock. Yeah. Fake rock, yeah.
Everyone hides their keys.
Yeah. I said, oh, well, why don't we try it in the door that's closest? And it worked. So, yeah. Yeah. It's so funny because it's on the key ring with all the other keys.
Not in a museum or something.
Right. But the last thing I wanted to tell you about was just to the left of that, there's another church, and you can see it's been built inside of a temple. And the temple was built there in the middle of the 2nd century to a very good emperor, Antoninus Pius. It was also dedicated to his wife, Faustina. But what happened is after the fall of the Roman Empire, the large drain underneath this valley fell into disuse because no one around was maintaining it. And then with the Tiber River constantly flooding into the valley throughout the centuries, delivering layers of silt, it caused the ground level to rise. And in the 1600s, the ground level of the Roman Forum was right at the bottom of the green door of that church. They came here at that time intending to pull the temple down so they could build a church on